Coffee is the most popular drug in the world. Every morning, millions of people can't function until they have that first cup. It's seen as normal, even celebrated. Coffee shops on every corner, mugs that say, "Don't talk to me until I've had my coffee," and entire cultures built around the ritual of brewing it. But just because something is common doesn't mean it's safe. The truth about coffee is far darker than most people realize, and what it's doing to your body over the long term may shock you. Let's start with caffeine, the main active compound in coffee. Caffeine doesn't give you energy. It doesn't create energy out of thin air. What it does is block adenosine, a chemical in your brain that signals when it's time to rest. Think of adenosine as your body's fatigue meter. Throughout the day, as you use energy, adenosine builds up in your brain, telling you that you're getting tired. When you drink coffee, caffeine attaches to the same receptors as adenosine, preventing that signal from reaching your brain. You feel awake, but it's an illusion. You're still tired, but the alarm system has been silenced. That might sound harmless, but the consequences are serious. Because once the caffeine wears off, all that built-up adenosine comes rushing back at once. That's the crash you feel hours later. The sudden wave of fatigue, irritability, or brain fog that sends you reaching for another cup. Over time, your body adapts by creating more adenosine receptors, which makes you even more sensitive to fatigue. That's why coffee drinkers often say they don't feel awake until they had caffeine. Their brains have rewired to depend on it. What started as a boost becomes a chain of dependence. Coffee also activates your adrenal glands, small organs that sit on top of your kidneys and release stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline. These hormones put your body into fight or flight mode, raising your heart rate, increasing blood pressure, and pushing glucose into your bloodstream for quick energy. In small bursts, this response can feel like alertness. But when triggered every single morning for years, it leads to adrenal fatigue, hormone imbalances, and constant stress on the cardiovascular system. That jittery, anxious feeling some people get from coffee isn't just in their head, it's their body being thrown into a stress state. The digestive system also takes a hit. Coffee is acidic, and when it enters the stomach, it stimulates excess production of gastric acid. For some, this leads to acid reflux, heartburn, or ulcers over time. It also irritates the lining of the intestines, which is why so many people run to the bathroom after drinking it. While coffee is often joked about as a natural laxative, what's really happening is that it's irritating the bowels, pushing them to empty faster than they should. Over time, this can lead to inflammation, nutrient malabsorption, and a gut that feels constantly unsettled. The kidneys and bones are affected too. Coffee increases urination, not just of water, but of critical minerals like magnesium, calcium, and potassium. These are electrolytes that regulate muscle function, nerve signals, hydration, and bone density. Over decades, excessive coffee consumption can contribute to osteoporosis, muscle weakness, and imbalances that affect everything from heartbeat rhythm to mood regulation. The dehydration many coffee drinkers experience is not just about water loss, it's about the loss of essential minerals that keep the body in balance. And then there's sleep. Even if you don't feel wired at night, caffeine lingers in the body for hours. Its half-life, the time it takes for half of it to leave your system, is about 5 to 7 hours. That means if you drink coffee at 2 p.m., a large portion of that caffeine is still in your system when you go to bed. You might fall asleep, but your sleep quality is reduced. Deep sleep and REM sleep are shortened, leaving you less restored even after a full night in bed. Many people live in a constant cycle of poor sleep, masked by morning coffee, followed by another day of fatigue and dependence. It doesn't stop there. Coffee affects the brain's chemistry in ways that make long-term dependence nearly inevitable. When adenosine is blocked repeatedly, dopamine, the brain's reward chemical, becomes overstimulated. This gives coffee its addictive pull. Over time, the brain reduces its own dopamine sensitivity to compensate, meaning you need more caffeine to feel the same effect. It's the same cycle seen with many addictive substances. Tolerance builds, dependence deepens, and withdrawal symptoms like headaches, irritability, and fatigue hit hard when you try to quit. Now let's look at how this feels in everyday life. A coffee drinker wakes up groggy, head pounding, until they get that first sip. Within minutes, they feel alert, motivated, ready to go. But a few hours later, the energy dips. They feel sluggish, unfocused, maybe even irritable. So they reach for another cup. By evening, they're restless, maybe anxious, their heart rate elevated. At night, they struggle to sleep deeply. The next morning, they wake up more tired than before, and the cycle repeats. It feels normal because it's common. But normal and healthy are not the same thing. Coffee also masks deeper issues. When you're chronically tired, it's often your body telling you something important, that you're dehydrated, that your diet is poor, that your sleep is inadequate, or that your organs are overworked. Coffee silences that message temporarily, tricking you into pushing harder instead of addressing the root cause. It is like turning up the radio so you don't hear the engine warning light in your car. The problem doesn't go away. It just gets worse while you ignore it. Even the so-called benefits of coffee are often exaggerated or misunderstood. People say coffee is full of antioxidants, but those antioxidants are also found in fruits, vegetables, herbs, and teas, without the negative side effects of caffeine and acidity. Some studies show coffee drinkers have lower risk of certain diseases, but these are correlations, not proof of cause. In many cases, the supposed benefits of coffee are really the benefits of polyphenols that can be found in far healthier plant-based foods. There's also the issue of what's in your cup beyond caffeine. Conventional coffee beans are among the most heavily pesticide-sprayed crops in the world. Many brands contain residues of chemicals that are neurotoxic and harmful to the liver. Coffee is often contaminated with mold and mycotoxins, toxic compounds produced by fungi that grow during storage. These toxins can cause fatigue, brain fog, and immune dysfunction. In other words, your morning cup of coffee may be delivering far more than just caffeine. It may be dosing you with chemicals your body was never meant to process. And yet, despite all these downsides, coffee is defended passionately. That's the power of addiction. When something is part of your identity, your morning ritual, your social life, your sense of productivity, it's hard to see the harm. People will argue that they can't live without it, that it helps them function, that it's harmless in moderation. But the truth is that moderation doesn't erase addiction. If you feel like you need coffee to start your day, you are dependent. If skipping it makes you anxious, headachy, or exhausted, your body is telling you the truth. Here's the good news. You don't have to stay trapped in this cycle. There are plant-based alternatives that give real energy, support your body's systems, and heal rather than harm. One of the most powerful is matcha. Matcha is a powdered green tea that has been used in Japan for centuries. Unlike coffee, which floods the body with caffeine all at once, matcha provides a gentler release. It contains L-theanine, an amino acid that calms the nervous system while promoting focus. When combined with caffeine, L-theanine smooths out the jitters, creating steady energy and mental clarity without the crash. That's why monks used matcha during long hours of meditation. It keeps the mind alert, but calm. Matcha is also rich in antioxidants called catechins, especially EGCG, which helps fight oxidative stress and protect cells from damage. While coffee can deplete minerals, matcha supports detoxification by boosting liver function. It enhances metabolism without overstimulating the adrenals. And because you consume the whole tea leaf in powdered form, you get far more nutrients than from steeped tea. It's not just an energy drink, it's plant medicine in a cup. The long-term effects of coffee reach far deeper than a temporary boost or a midday crash. When you stimulate the adrenal glands day after day, year after year, they eventually burn out. This state is often called adrenal fatigue, where your body struggles to regulate energy, stress, and even blood sugar. You feel tired no matter how much you sleep, wired but exhausted, anxious for no clear reason. Coffee creates the illusion of control while stripping you of true resilience. Over years, coffee also erodes sleep quality to the point where the brain never fully restores itself. Deep sleep is when the brain clears out toxins, repairs connections, and consolidates memory. When caffeine repeatedly shortens this stage of rest, your mind accumulates waste products linked to cognitive decline and neurodegenerative diseases. The constant fog, forgetfulness, or difficulty concentrating that many coffee drinkers experience isn't tea just aging when it's the price of sabotaged sleep? For many, coffee also becomes the fuel for digestive misery. Its acidity not only inflames the stomach lining, but also stresses the pancreas and gallbladder, which must compensate for the constant onslaught. Over time, this can contribute to gastritis, irritable bowel syndrome, and even gallstones. The discomfort people feel, bloating, cramps, sudden urgency, are signs that the digestive system is being pushed beyond its natural rhythm. And because coffee speeds elimination, it can strip the body of nutrients before they're absorbed, creating deficiencies that leave you depleted no matter how healthy your meals appear. Reproductive health is affected as well. Caffeine crosses the placenta, impacting fetal development, which is why doctors often warn pregnant women to limit coffee. But even outside of pregnancy, coffee's disruption of hormones affects fertility. By overstimulating cortisol and throwing off the delicate balance of estrogen, progesterone, and testosterone, coffee makes it harder for the body to sustain normal reproductive cycles. Women may experience irregular periods or worsened PMS, while men may face reduced sperm quality and lower testosterone. These are not isolated effects. They are the result of a body constantly tricked into stress mode. Perhaps the most insidious impact of coffee is how it chains you to dependence. The morning ritual becomes non-negotiable, and without it, you feel broken. That's the definition of addiction. The substance controls you, not the other way around. The headaches, irritability, and exhaustion of withdrawal are your body begging for balance, not proof that you need coffee. The truth is, if coffee were discovered today, it might never pass safety regulations. But because it is ingrained in culture, it is celebrated, marketed, and defended, while its long-term toll remains hidden in plain sight. But once you see the truth, you can choose better. Alternatives exist that don't just replace coffee, but heal the damage it leaves behind. Matcha, as mentioned, is one of the most powerful. Unlike the roller coaster of coffee, matcha delivers smooth, sustained energy. Its L-theanine balances caffeine, creating calm focus without the jitters or crash. Imagine starting your day not with anxious adrenaline, but with steady clarity that lasts for hours. That's the gift of matcha. It works with your body instead of against it. Another alternative is chicory root coffee. Chicory root has a roasted, earthy flavor remarkably similar to coffee, but contains no caffeine. Instead, it is rich in inulin, a type of prebiotic fiber that feeds the healthy bacteria in your gut. While coffee irritates digestion, chicory heals it, supporting better absorption, reduced inflammation, and a healthier microbiome. People often switch for the taste but stay for the gut healing benefits. Dandelion root is another herbal powerhouse. Like chicory, it can be roasted into a warm, coffee-like beverage. But its true strength lies in its detoxifying properties. Dandelion supports liver function, helping the body clear out toxins, including the very chemical residues often found in coffee beans. It also acts as a gentle diuretic, supporting kidney health without stripping minerals the way coffee does. This isn't fake energy. It's true nourishment for the organs that coffee depletes.